All right. So the last perk of staying on site, Leslie, is one of those subjective, fuzzy perks, but we got to talk about it, Leslie, the Disney bubble.
Yeah, that's right. And this, you can't really put a number on this exactly, but a lot of folks, they're taking a Disney vacation. They want to be immersed in that vacation. They want to have the theming extend to their hotels and their rooms and things like that. And the service, because the service is still very, very top notch. I think there's been critiques and lapses a little bit at different points these last couple of years, but it's still like head and shoulders above what you would get most anywhere else. So people want to be in that Disney bubble. They just don't want to sort of deal with the outside world and reality for, a few days. And I understand that in these troublesome times we always live in, especially after COVID. So yeah, I think that's really valuable. And just knowing that you're going to have the seamlessness of everything being connected. I mean, yes, some not quite as much as maybe you used to because the things like the Magical Express are gone, but still, it's much more firing on all cylinders these days.
Definitely. All right. So those are the perks of staying on site. We want to talk a little bit about why you might want to consider staying on site at Disney World in 2024 in particular. I will start with the biggest reason, Leslie. The more I look into it, the more I'm like, these are prices we have not seen in a long time. And if demand kicks back up, we're not going to see again. A couple episodes ago, Leslie, I told you I saw Beach and Yacht Club at like 375 in July. I was looking again in August, same thing. 375, 384. All Stars was like at 120. Pop was like 160. Like these are prices, like I know these prices sound high. Oh, Animal Kingdom Lodge was like 312. Wilderness Lodge was like 320. I realize that if you're new to Disney, these prices sound like, what the heck are you talking about? $375 a night for a room. But last summer, you would have been paying $600 a night for that room. So yes, do we have Stockholm Syndrome? Yes. Are we drinking the Kool-Aid? Of course. All those things are true. But these sales that Disney has been having, and they haven't released them through the whole entire year, but I fully expect by the time 2024 is over, you will have been able to get an on-site room on sale or some kind of discount at any point that you really wanted to go, as long as you were able to, even with the holidays, as long as you're willing to do it early enough, you'll be fine. I think these are just prices we haven't seen in such a long time. I think that is the major reason to go. Just for comparison, I did look at, I'm sorry, Wyndham Garden Lake Buena Vista to keep picking on you, but I looked at it and it was about 140 per night after taxes and fees and stuff like that. To stay at the All Stars, it would be after taxes and fees like 175 per night around the same time. I mean, for that $35, that's not like you have to pay for parking. You don't have to pay for parking at all the offsite hotels, but at that particular hotel, you have to pay for parking. So like if you have a car, which is going to make your life easier if you're there anyway, you're basically breaking even with All-Star resorts anyway. You might as well stay there, get the 30-minute early entry, get the 7 a.m. lightning lane, just stay in the Disney bubble. The prices are the major reason I think 2024 is the time to consider.
Yeah, I totally agree. The prices are appealing based upon what we know historically. Like we're definitely seeing some prices that I haven't seen since like 2015. So I need an excuse to get there and take advantage this year in 2024. Another reason that you should consider staying on site this year is that I think we're in a really good spot refurbishment wise right now for a lot of these hotels. You mentioned, Joe, already Caribbean Beach. I know we mentioned on our Grand Floridian episode not too long ago, the rooms there have been recently redone. The Grand Destino Tower is still bright and fresh and new in the grand scheme of things. And then there have been some other room redos at Polynesian, Contemporary, and then of course all of the value resorts all got the renovation into the 2 queen bed, the single queen bed, and then the Murphy queen bed. So you can now have bigger bed accommodations at all of the all-star resorts. So it's in a pretty good place right now, and go while they're still new, because in a few years, the cycle is going to begin again.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I haven't stayed in a resort for a while where I felt like these rooms are dated. I'm sure they exist. We can't stay at all. There's over 20 Disney resorts. And so definitely that's another good reason to go. I said this already, renting a car is a pain. Yes, I do it a lot, but that's because I have some kind of mental block about that, but I'm trying to get away from it. I'm still like deciding about my trip 2 weeks from now whether I'm going to rent a car or not. So I'm like still on the fence there. I'm trying to get over that hump for myself. But having a car rental, it's really annoying. Buses are not the greatest thing, Leslie, but another thing that's not great is parking in a parking lot and having to take a tram to get to the front or walk half a mile before you even get started on your 20,000 steps in a Disney World day that you're going to do on average. Avoid renting that car. Once you're in the Disney bubble, it is pretty easy to get around. If you are Leslie and want to splurge, or Leslie and me together want to get out of the rain, call a minivan. That is, you can budget in 6 minivans for the cost of a rental car at least, depending on how many days you're going to be there. And so you can think of it that way. So definitely not having a car rental is a great reason to stay on site. It's just going to make life a little easier. And then one last small reason to stay on site, Disney's cancellation policy is great. If you are booking a package with tickets, it's $200 and you're not on the hook for anything. Like, there are no cancellation penalties until final payment, which is 30 days before your trip, which gives you plenty of time to look for offsite hotels and price compare and, just decide if you want to do something else. If you're staying in a room only reservation, your deposit is one night's hotel. That's fully refundable until 5 days before your trip. So it's so easy. Disney really is good about hooking you and getting you in the door. And yes, more times than not, you're going to probably end up staying with Disney, but it's going to make you feel like, and actually give you the time to explore those other options. And again, another small Disney do or don't buy the travel protection until you are at the point where, you are going to lose money from Disney, which is typically final payment 30 days before.